the Judas Goat Gospel are listening to priests and pastors who are leading us not out of the desert into the promised land, but from the promised land into the desert to die. I mean, they're supporting war.
Yeah, quite literally the Iraqi desert and the deserts of Afghanistan and who knows where else.
Our soldiers, like Pat Tillman, thought, well, we should come to the fore, we should stand up and fight. He got over there and found out that this was a phony war and was about to talk. He's killed by, they say, friendly fire, not by the enemy, but maybe by the enemy within, maybe by a contractor.
It's widely discussed now that Pat Tillman was killed by so-called friendly fire, and my conclusion was that that may not have been accidental, and there's plenty of good reason to believe it might not have been accidental. That's what murder is, killing on purpose. Yeah, I think there's a very, very strong indication that it was more than just an accident of spray fire. The reason we suspect this is that he was very much opposed to the war in Iraq, and had said so to his family, his close allies, and had raised the issue literally hundreds of times with members of his family.
Pat Tillman had a very, very successful football career. He gave that up in huge amounts of money, a tremendous fortune, to go to the Middle East and Central Asia because he believed that the attack came from Afghanistan that was against our country on 9/11. What he didn't know was that it was a false flag operation by insiders in our own government.
Pat Tillman, who was killed by, after they made him a hero, he's killed in battle. It was friendly fire. Probably it's going to turn out he was probably murdered by other men in his outfit. Who was there beside these military police? Military intelligence, CIA, Navy SEALs sometimes, civilian contractors from Titan Corporation.
I still want to pursue this question about this P4 memo. The P4 memo was sent to 3 generals, to Kinzinger, Abizaid, and Brown. And the memo is advising these generals to let the Secretary of Defense and others know that there may be a problem if they refer to how Pat Tillman was killed. How is that believable that 3 generals wouldn't send up the chain of command a memo like this?
The White House is just 2 days from a deadline to clear the record and its own conscience about how this administration used the death of Pat Tillman for propaganda purposes rather than telling the truth about it to his family and us. But in our 4th story tonight, the White House remaining defiant about the Tillman cover-up and its cover-up of the role played by Karl Rove and others in the U.S. attorney firings. We told you on Friday that President Bush had invoked executive privilege to prevent Congress and Corporal Tillman's family from learning the truth about what the White House knew and what the Pentagon knew about the friendly fire death of the former football star and when they knew it. Today, the House Oversight Committee invited 6 current and former Pentagon officials, including former Secretary Rumsfeld, to testify about what they knew at a hearing on the 1st of August.
We know that it was an inside job, and when 9 generals are officers of this government lie to falsify the story, it can only mean one thing. This is a contract killing by the CIA.
Is the CIA an army of individuals who have a license to kill? It's like Murder Incorporated, right?
Oh, are you kidding? The CIA makes the mafia look like a Sunday school class. I mean, this is what's the problem with what's actually happening in Afghanistan.
When he got to Afghanistan, he began to discover the lies and the false basis for the wars, and he became very disillusioned and wanted to blow the whistle on this pack of lies. And when the military realized that, they simply assassinated him.
They conveniently assassinated him at the time the Abu Ghraib story was all over the front page, and that got it off instantaneously.